Yeah. You crossed the ocean just to find your grave. Sacrificed your own boys for a lie. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Make America great again. Yo, Tails, this shit crazy.
One of the ways that you know that the pole shift is right around the corner is that when they initiate World War III is when you know the pole shift is right around the corner. One of the ways that you know that the pole shift is right around the corner is that when they initiate World War III is when you know the pole shift is right around the corner.
Hello, it's Call to Truth. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. Well, I've gone down another rabbit hole. I'm going to just say at a high level the rabbit hole, and then I'll get into the details as to why I have all of these tabs open. All right, so the rabbit hole started when I looked at this video by this sister. She just released this a day ago, and she's talking about Iran sent out a shocking video. What I liked about her video is that she, at some point in the video, I believe at the start of her video, she mentioned how the Statue of Liberty is Lucifer, is really a statue of Lucifer. And that's been my understanding as well. And she also just goes on to talk about how all of these countries worship the same God, Baal. Baal, Lucifer, Satan, it's basically all the same. And even though, on a surface level, they have the world thinking that they are at odds with each other, really at the heart of everything, it's a unified agenda. They're very secretive in their true agendas, and they ultimately are all on the same side, worshiping the same God, who is the God of this realm that we're in. And that's kind of the gist of what point I believe she made as part of her video. And then she goes on to show a video that Iran has released as far as the whole social media war that they got going on, where they're trolling the US with these Lego movies. But because of what she was saying, which is so true, that, the people in power globally in this realm, they are all on the same side. They are all worshiping the same entity, the same uh, malevolent being who is in control of this realm. And they are all actors, they all act a part, they all do their role to play their part in the ultimate satanic agenda that's going on, that's unfolding. And so in my spirit, I thought, this realm is a matrix, it is cyclical, it does get reset over and over again, and it starts over again, and it goes through the same cycle, and the cycle repeats, and then it just keeps going in that loop over and over. And we're at a point now where we're at the end of a cycle, which is about to reset itself again. And that places us in the book of Revelation, or not, in the book of the Bible as a whole, which is, in my understanding, a book of witchcraft, because everything that comes from this realm and the powers that be, it's to serve their God that is in control of this world. Their God is the God ultimately that's being served in every religion that is in this realm. And it's, but it does have some truth in it. And the truth that it has in there is what they want the beings of this realm to believe in, because what is you believe, that's the reality that you bring about, that's the reality that you manifest, is based on your thoughts, your beliefs, and what you focus on, and what you ultimately believe is going to happen will happen. That's the power that we have, those of us who are connected to our higher self that's outside of this matrix. And so even though the book of the Bible is a book of witchcraft, because everything that these beings do is rooted in witchcraft and sorcery and the occult, and in their connection to their fallen angels who teach and guide them, direct them, who is part of their lineage and bloodline. There's some truth in some of the things that they tell us, but the majority of it is lies or trickery. Really, it's trickery. But you have to have a spiritual connection to your higher self to really not be misled, or to wake up out of these spells that have been cast on us, and that we have been lulled into believing, into finally be awakened out of these spells, and to just let your inner connection to your higher self guide you, teach you, wake you up. And so I thought about the Bible and the fact that this is all a cycle, and where we are in the cycle is we are we're at the very end where the reset's going to happen, and the reset is where this realm gets cleared out of all of this wickedness that has come about from these fallen angel beings and their lineage, and all of the havoc that they've wreaked upon this realm to make it a complete misery. All that's going to get wiped out. And once it's wiped out, then the earth needs to be replenished again. And that takes you back to Genesis. And that's what rabbit hole I've been going down. Let's just go into Genesis. If we go down to Genesis 1, it's a tale of two different creations. There's a creation of a certain type of mankind in Genesis 1 it has a different creator than the creation that occurs in Genesis 2. And in Genesis 1, I noticed how it refers to God. It just says, and God said this, and God saw that, and it keeps referring to God. And then let us make man in our image. So in verse 26, it's saying, that this is God, but it's saying, let us, this is us, make man in our image. So I believe these are the angels. These are the fallen angels are making an image onto themselves. It says after our likeness. So it's not referring to one single God. It's the fallen angels making beings that are after their likeness. And it's saying that they're going to give these beings dominion in this realm. It's saying, let them, are the beings that are after our image and after our likeness, let us give them dominion over fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth. These beings are going to have dominion over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Now let's define what dominion means. It says the territory of a sovereign or government. The territory of a sovereign or government, sovereignty or control. So they're going to have control over the governments. Okay. Domination. It says another term is domination. All right. So these beings that are made in the image of the fallen angels, they are going to have domination over all of the earth. They're going to be over the governments of the earth. And it's telling them to be fruitful and multiply. And it's saying replenish the earth. So here, this was after the reset there. So there was a reset that happened before this point. At the point where we are at now, we're going into the reset. The reset hasn't happened yet. It's about to happen. This realm is about to get cleared out, and I'll get into that. So with this whole war and the prospect of nuclear war, we're at a point where this realm is going to be cleansed. And after everything gets cleansed, then there's going to be a point where the fallen angels, again, they want to, they want to create their image again, put their beings back in this realm. And some of them right now already have their bunkers in place. They have their bunkers underground to try to survive the reset, because they know the reset's going to happen, and they're going to be back at this point where their fallen angel gods are going to want them to replenish the earth again, and then to subdue it. It says, and to subdue it. Let's define what subdue is, because these are words that are very kind of unique to the certain beings on this planet that are the dominators of this realm. Okay, so to subdue it, it says overcome, bring under control, quieten, bring a country or people under control by force. Bring a country or people under control by force. So this is telling, the fallen angels are telling their people to replenish the earth. This is after the reset has happened. Replenish the earth again, subdue it. This is what, these fallen angels are giving their beings, the orders to do. They're saying, I want you to bring under your control by force countries and peoples. Okay. And so they're going to bring under control by force, and then have dominion over fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So in this Genesis 1, this is talking about the fallen angels and their creation, the beings that they created, who are the lineage of the fallen angels. And that's the characteristics, the personality traits that they have, are traits of being dominators, having dominion over everything, subduing everything, taking things by force. That's their nature, and that they have control over the whole earth. But then when you go to Genesis, this is where there's a different man. So Genesis 2:7, this is Lord God. So this isn't just God here, where God, this is all God. This is not Lord God. This is God. And then in here it's talking about, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. In this chapter 2 is saying, in the Lord God. So this is the sovereign God. formed man of the dust of the ground. And so this is the Lord God. And so I did a search to see what's the difference between God and Lord God. And here it says Lord God is sovereign rulership. This is sovereign. So this, just having the term God is a creator. It's just a general title of a supreme being or a strong one. But Lord God is sovereign. It's supreme authority. Okay. So in chapter 2, where it has verse 7, this is a sovereign God. So let me just see. I did look up the word sovereign. Let's see. So I looked up sovereign, and it says sovereign is a supreme ruler. A supreme ruler, it says possessing supreme or ultimate power. Okay. And that's what is referred to in chapter 2. So this is talking about a different type of man. And actually, I do believe that it was a woman. I think it was a woman that was made first, not a man. This is, they always tell you a little bit of truth, but mixed in with some lies, and things are inverted. What's up is down, what's down is up. You can't go by these Satanists because they're going to lead you astray.
Yeah. You crossed the ocean just to find your granted. Sacrificed your own boys for a lie. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Make America great again.